Hey everybody, welcome to Ryan Jacobson Golf. My goal is to help the average golfer save a couple strokes around and just enjoy the game a little bit more. So in today's video, I want to go over a really common scenario and a very easy tip that can hopefully help you save at least a couple strokes every round. What I want to talk about is what you should do when you have a shot going into the green that you're in between clubs. Very easy tip that's going to allow you to hit more greens, hopefully save more pars, maybe make a couple more birdies. There are generally two schools of players when it comes to a shot that's just in between clubs. There's the I'm going to rip this one as hard as I can and get it there, or the I'm going to go ahead and take an extra club and just hit a little bit more of a soft shot. Let me know in the comments which one you are. 118, time to rip a sand wedge. So it's completely fine if we have a shot that we're most comfortable with. Some of us might just be more comfortable getting it, having an aggressive swing and getting after it. That's totally fine. And the place that's totally fine is if the pin's in the middle of the green, do what you're most comfortable with. That's where I want you to kind of start. Middle of the green, whatever it is you normally do, go ahead and do that. What I'm going to talk about is a strategy that you should be incorporating when you're in between clubs based off where the pin is at. Most importantly, is the pin in the front of the green or is the pin in the back of the green? So now that I have that out of the way, I just want to go over the scenario that we're going to create for this. So we're going to go ahead and say that that flag in the front right there is about 119 yards from the fairway for me. Now, I like to hit a sand wedge about 115 yards as a full shot. So it's outside of that normal range. It's not a lot. I mean, I could probably get it there. But this pin is about 8 paces onto the green. So I want you to think of it this way in terms of giving yourself a good opportunity to hit greens even when you have a miss hit. If I know I hit it 115 and this is 8 paces on there, so right off the bat I know I'm at least 4 paces short. So a normal wedge hit perfect max distance is about here. So I'm not at the flag. So just to realize when you get after a shot and you hit it really well, you also tend to put more spin on the ball. And most greens slope back to front. And if the pin's in the front of the green, it's probably on some kind of a slope. So maybe you hit it really well and you get it back to the pin, and then you've noticed that it spins back and it goes to the front of the green. You just don't have a lot of an error to miss. And likely what's going to happen is we're not going to hit all of our wedges perfect, and we're going to end up short. We're going to end up about here. So what I want you to think about is when you're in between clubs, if the pin is in the front, it should be an almost automatic that you're going to grab the club up and you're going to be able to hit a little bit smoother, but you're going to miss long because on most greens, if the pin's in the front, you have all the room in the world behind the flag. So that's where I want you to be able to calculate where you're going to have a miss. The other benefit is when you're not having as much of an aggressive swing and you've clubbed up, even if you don't have a perfect strike, the ball's usually going to come out with less spin. So even if you do land just a little bit short, the ball's going to want to take a skip forward, typically, and get you closer to the hole. You're just going to have a much easier time hitting greens consistently that way, which should lead to more birdie putts and also hopefully more pars. So now we have the scenario with the pins in the back. Same thing, 119 yards. I like to hit my sand wedge 115. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at this flag and just right off the bat, look at all the trouble behind it. It's downhill. I might have a downhill chip with just a tough chip. There's not a lot of room, and that's generally going to be the case. Again, most greens slope back to front. So if you miss long, you have a downhill slippery chip most of the time. So where do you want to miss? Well, you want to miss to the middle of the green. Heck, even short on the front of the green is better than being long with a downhill chip most of the time. So in this scenario, this is for all of you guys out there that love just to get after your shots and hit them as hard as you can. If you have an in-between yardage and the pin's in the back, go ahead and take the lower club and put a firm strike on it. If you hit it perfect, it'll probably end up somewhere around the hole. The good news is if you do miss-hit it, you're going to likely be short of the hole. Maybe you're 5 yards short, but you know what all that means is you probably have an uphill putt for birdie. It's a great place to miss it. So in summary, that's the biggest thing is it's okay to have something you're comfortable with. If you like to go ahead and go after a shot when you're in between clubs, you can do that when the pin's in the middle of the green because you have safe space to miss it to. When the pin's in the front, I want you to go ahead and take that extra club so you have safe space to miss. If the pin's in the back, go ahead and grab the club and go ahead and hit it as hard as you want, because then you can at least miss in a safe zone. I hope this was helpful. Please like and subscribe. Thanks, man. 130 yards. Hit a sand wedge.